So Disney is my segue.
Whoa.
Not only known for its attractions, but its story. Like that's something that I feel like sets Disney parks apart from everything else, is the story that each attraction sells and the characters associated with them. So what story do we think this new land is going to tell, if anything, or do we think it's just going to to be rehashing?
Oh, me. I got...
All right, yes,
me,
Kevin, for
me.
raising his hand. You
Thank
guys
you.
could all learn from Kevin.
Y'all can shut up.
Damn it, Brandon.
Can shut up. I think the Millennium Falcon ride should be the Kessel Run.
So rehashing stories. I feel like you didn't address my question. I
Well,
think
okay, it should be rehashing stories, but you also asked what
Read
story it
between
should
the
tell.
lines.
Oh, okay,
Read
like
between the
actual do the
Yeah.
Kessel Run. But all right, how so? Take me through it.
So I think that you're boarding it, and I think that you're with Han Solo and Chewie as they make this epic Kessel
Sure.
Run against these other ships. So you have like again, it is kind of Star Tours-ish in that you're in like a motion control ride, but you're going through this very cool thing, and I think the Kessel Run is around a black hole, right?
Yeah, that's how they. I guess just a brief pause. The Kessel Run, how many parsecs?
12.
12 parsecs. That's actually supposed to be the distance from the black hole of Ma, if I'm getting my extended
That
universe
sounds
right.
right.
But I forget. So it's the fact that the ship is so fast it can get 12 parsecs away from a black hole and not get sucked in.
Remind me of the Kessel Run. Because
So-
it sounds like a cereal.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like the Kessel Run is when Luke asks if she's fast, or Obi-Wan asks if she's fast,
Oh.
and then he's like, is she fast? Is she fast? She's the ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs.
Right.
Parsec is a unit of... We don't need to rehash this. I feel like it's been interneted to death. I feel like all the
Okay,
internet knows about
I forgot
it.
about the Kessel Run.
Yeah. So that's what it's from.
Okay.
No, good question for those of you who don't know.
So let's get back to your original question. Do you...
Well, we didn't... Kevin, do you want to finish?
Well, I think that should be the ride. Is him
Racing smugglers?
Yeah, and then
You
then
get to
you
pick
get
the smuggler ship.
Exactly,
And,
and then
so
you get the
there's,
Empire
like-
jumps in, and he has to like dump his cargo or something. You know,
Sure.
you get some added element like that, like Darth Vader shows up or something.
All right. So I like that. Filling in gaps is kind of
Yeah.
what you're talking about. It's like
Exactly.
taking the Kessel Run that's just one line and kind of filling it in.
Yep.
Kind of like the extended universe used to do, but now we're doing it in a park.
But would it be canon at that point?
So yes, it would be, right? I'm assuming everything now is going to be canon. So
And I
yeah,
think it's already mentioned, so I
Well,
think that, like you said,
yeah,
filling
for
in
sure.
those
Then at
gaps.
that-
So the park's going to
But
be
you
canon.
said the games aren't canon. So it seems
Oh,
like they're
yeah.
picking and
Sorry,
choosing.
everything done by Disney is going to be canon. Yeah.
What jerks.
Yeah.
I love them, but
Well, what?
anyways, that's
Sure,
another
yeah.
discussion.
Yeah.
Do you think the park will include stuff on Clone Wars and Rebels?
Oh.
Because they
Ooh.
could. 'Cause
That's
they're
interesting.
by
I think
Disney.
right now it's focusing on movies and
Probably
like,
mostly The
everything
Force
around that.
Awakens.
Yeah, Force
Like, you
Awakens
know, like
could be a lot, but
Ahsoka
that's
would be
interesting.
for
So then,
girls.
what you're
If
saying
they
is,
do
do you
that,
think
that'd
it's
be so bad.
it'll all be newer?
I have a
stuff?
feeling it's
And-
going to be newer stuff. Yeah. That they're not going to want to rehash, especially something that old. Also, just because of the associations with the
What's that?
prequels that some people have.
People love Clone Wars. People love Ahsoka.
No,
which they
Clone
should,
Wars
'cause
is
she's
great.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Love
Clone Wars was
Ahsoka.
wonderful. I just think that so much of that world has been filled in. Also, that they're not going to want to fill in more.
I think
Can
they'll use.
Ahsoka be a costume character?
No, that'd be too hot.
All right,
They
well,
all wear
no,
hot
no,
costumes.
Brandon's the last word on this.
I would dress up
So,
as
no
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
I would gender bend Ahsoka because she's so amazing.
That was not a
Wow.
question, Brandon.
Yeah,
but
that was-
thank you for volunteering that.
I'm just
Can
saying.
we? We're reinstituting the point system. Brandon, -1 point. Brandon's at a
It's so
negative
noted.
point.
What am I
So-
at? What
so
am
we
I
can
at?
put that there.
-1.
You're at -1.
Oh, come on. That's better than I usually do, so I'm good with that.
That is so
If
far.
you stop talking,
but
you'll be
the
ahead of any other
podcast
score we've ever
is
gotten.
young.
Not over.
Yeah. So I want to talk about what everybody's favorite subject: business. I want to talk about
Ooh.
just the business of this, and for 3 people who are not business, I want to say so they're spending a lot of money on this park.
Which one of us
I
is
think,
business?
I think none
Which
of
one
us.
of us is
Oh, did I do my
business?
math wrong? Oh, that's for
What do you mean
that's,
you do your math wrong? This isn't
for-
math.
That's for the home viewers to decide.
Wow.
We'll just cut
yeah.
Kevin
You
out of the
miscounted
entire
the
episode.
men.
All right, I will take a minus point for that. I will give
Oh.
myself
Oh my God,
minus
they're
1 point.
tied?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm-
Wow, you're tied with Brandon.
I'm super upset about this.
Oh my god.
We've lived together too long.
That's the problem. But no, so the business side of it, they're right now, I think they're spending, I don't know if they're all spending this on the Star Wars park, but like close to $1 billion.
Wow.
So that can buy a few movies, right?
Holy
so why
smokes.
are we seeing all this put into a park with unlimited reach as opposed to more movies or something else to expand the brand? Why a park? Why a park now, and why a park just in general?
Amanda, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah. Well, obviously.
Talk on your mic.
Oh, Well, I mean, if they're investing into this park, this is a long-term thing. Just like the movies are long-term.
Sure.
But it builds hype to compare to both. As a child, you always want to, like, you can live someplace else in the U.S. and be like, all I want to do is go to Disneyland. You can live almost anywhere in the world and want to go to Disneyland.
Oh, okay.
So now you're going to go to this park. Say you've never seen Star Wars before. You go into this park. Now you want to watch all of the Star Wars stuff. So it's kind of like...
So it's for... okay.
It's like a longevity in my mind.
Okay, if we're looking at the Venn diagram of Star Wars fans and Disney fans, it's like that small sliver that isn't yet a fan of Star Wars.
Sure.
That'll capture them.
But
Okay.
you're capturing a younger audience. Like think of
I could see that
as
too.
a child, you're walking in and you see this miraculous park. Like I kind of wonder at Universal Studios in Florida, like people that have never really gotten into Harry Potter, but they walk through the Harry Potter world.
Oh,
and
that's
then
a good point,
instantly
too.
are interested in wanting
Sure.
to do it more.
So I think two things there is great. So yeah, you could have a 3-year-old that the people are like, I don't know if he's ready for Star Wars, but he's ready for Disneyland, and now
Yep.
he's going to the Star Wars park and be like, oh, this is awesome. And then, or like a 3-year-old version of that. And then being like, yeah, we want to watch this.
Yeah.
Or do you have a point?
Yeah,
Yeah, what are you
essentially, it's kind of tied to that.
Yeah.
I think Disney still understands the value of the feeling. You know, having something that is what's that word?
You can touch
Visceral.
it, use it.
Yeah,
Visceral.
like palpable with your face, kind of deal. Like what?
Immersive, I guess you were
Yeah,
saying. like-
immersive. So there's something
Tangible?
Something
Do you mean tangible?
I think it's not palpable. I feel like
Yeah, he's
that's
not eating
the
it.
one
Dude,
word.
I'm a
that it's
writer. I know words.
Oh boy. Oh
I
boy.
wouldn't tell people that.
Yeah, I guess that's bad.
Sure, there's something about being able to touch.
Yeah, no, there's the idea of being immersed in it, and it's different than being
Or taste.
around it. Like feeling like you're in that world. When I go to Disneyland, when I do that Indiana Jones ride,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
you
get
feel
hit
fire.
by the darts, and I'm dying,
Sure.
and I love it. And I think that is more impactful than watching any of the movies to me. Like,
Yeah.
I think riding that ride after that, I was like, Indiana Jones everywhere.
For those of you listening to the audio podcast, Brandon just had a stroke. Is that what
Oh.
happened?
Yeah, I'd have a stroke for Indy.
Sure,
does
sure. All right, I like that idea that it's more tangible and everything because
Yeah.
Star Wars is like one of the few universes that exists where it'd be super cool just to be like a grocery bagger, just to be like just like an accountant. I feel so sorry if you're an accountant and I just insulted you, but to
They
be
make
just
more
a
money than you
normal
do. They're
person,
not
you don't
worried.
need to be a hero in the Star Wars universe
a
to
lot of
like.
the side characters' lives are pretty miserable.
Yeah, but it's still cool. I think it's cool.
I mean,
A lot of
it's so
people's
cool.
lives
I
are
mean,
miserable.
You know, I'm just gonna say, I think it'd be really cool to be a millionaire living in our time.
As opposed to a poor person living in Star Wars. Well, what do you know, Amanda?
Well, no, I mean, still, it would be pretty cool to live in that world.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong. but I
Deduction
wouldn't-
from Amanda.
I would
Yeah.
not. I would not take any role. I guess is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I would want to actually have like. I would want to be a Jedi. I would want to be.
You don't want to be a moisture farmer, is what you're saying.
No.
Your midichlorian count is too low to be a Jedi.
That's true.
My metachlorian count is higher than yours. Biatch.
We did test that.
we
had to test it for this
test
podcast.
that.
Everybody on this podcast
Yeah.
has to get
Yeah.
their midichlorians
We had to pee in a
checked.
cup. It was awkward.
No, we just made you do that. Nobody else. Nobody else had to pee in a cup.
By the way, you have some other things we should talk about.
Yeah, we sent that into a lab.
Yeah.
Amanda brought up an interesting point, which is Harry Potter. I think that's a big part of why they're doing this now. I think Harry Potter scared them. Like they made the bid for Harry Potter to try to get it, and then Universal ended up
Yeah.
winning out.
I love Harry
And
Potter.
I think it's really affected their attendance in Florida. And now that it's coming out here, they really want something to fight back. And I think they're kind of overdoing it. Like I think they're doing Star Wars here and they're like, well, we'll throw $1 billion at Star Wars. And then in Florida, they're like, we're going to do an Avatar land. They're like, why? Do you do with Avatar? It's better than Harry Potter. They're blue.
Doing an Avatar land?
Yeah, they're
You're
going to
doing
do Avatar
amazing
and
Alan Horn
Harry Potter.
impersonation. It's impeccable.
Thank you.
Bob Iger? Alan Horn? Both.
What are those people?
Iger's the
There we go.
the big
Avatar
guy.
land sounds boring.
Yeah, well, good. It should because we're on a Star Wars podcast.
Yeah, Star Wars is the best.
Yeah.
I like Avatar.
I have a more cynical
like
answer for
Avatar,
that.
just-
Okay.
And I think that it's you're selling things year round. Like a movie's only going to make money really like at one like in the basically the month like in which it comes out.
Sure.
It'll make money then. But if every kid who goes through say the Millennium Falcon ride comes out the other side and there's a gift shop there, you're going to make a ton more money doing that like just having that park open 24/7 or every day of the year
Yeah.
than you will with a movie. So you might spend, an amount of money making an IP, that they can sell, but then they're selling it actually in the park.
You could probably buy the
Sure,
movies at
sure.
the park
And
too.
instead of
They're monetizing it.
yeah, constantly too. That makes sense.
Exactly.
And merchandising, which is like the driving force behind Star Wars. It was like the first really big merchandised movie.
I don't think they're going to abandon that model.
I mean,
Yeah, right.
I don't think you're gambling on this $1 billion. I also think that that's a big reason why they're investing so much money. I
What?
think that
What
it's
is
a
the
pretty
reason? Oh,
safe
merchandise.
bet.
Oh, for sure.
That they're going to
Yeah,
continue to
yeah.
make money and keep flowing. And I don't think that that's like a big concern.
Yeah.
Because $1 billion.
They didn't do this with Bolt.
Sure.
Like, it's
I also
Star
don't
Wars.
think they're spending just $1 billion on like they're doing a whole bunch of stuff in the parks, but I know that's all $1 billion. And I bet Star Wars though is probably going to get at least half of it.
Oh,
if
yeah.
not-
Yeah.
If not
they
more.
should make that amazing. Like,
Yeah.
I want them to spend all the money there. Like, oh no, Mickey doesn't get a new suit. That's okay if we get like a baby Wookiee or something running around the park.
What?
No, I agree. If we can get a
Oh, they
baby
don't-
Wookiee, I didn't hear the first part.
Like, they don't have
ended
enough-
with baby Wookiee, which sounds wonderful.
Did you mean they don't have enough money to make a full Wookiee suit, so they're going to make a baby Wookiee
baby
suit?
Wookiee.
Is that
I
what
w-
you were saying?
I would buy baby Wookiees.
I would
like
give
if
up
I
my
got
job.
a little infant. You would give up your job to be a baby Wookiee?
Yeah, run around Star Wars Park as a baby Wookiee. Yeah,
I don't think you get paid very well. I would suggest.
But I would get
probably
the
no.
joy of scaring children or something.
How tall are you?
Scaring
How tall are you?
I'm like
You can
6'3".
Okay. That
Cool.
that seems about baby Wookiee actually.
Sure.
What are Wookiees?
Certainly
They're like 7
adolescent.
feet. Sure.
I'm not
That's
6'3".
baby Wookiee.
I'm like Wookiee size.
Yeah, you're baby. You need to be
Baby
baby
Wookiee
Wookiee
size.
size. Yeah,
Yeah.
So that could work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with that. So
and I got a great Wookiee impression.
was that it?
Yeah, today was that.
Oh. Yeah, it was
It's
really
a baby
good, Brandon.
Wookiee, so it has a little bit more
Oh,
gargly.
okay, got it. It's gargle
develop-
hasn't dropped yet.
It's like mother's breast milk still in the back of my throat.
Oh.
God damn it! Take away another point. Can you
Yep.
take away a point?
Negative
Kevin?
2.
That's
God
the thing that
damn
babies
it.
have is they have
What? But
What?
why bring it up on a podcast just right now?
because I like to detail things.
Okay. Anyway, so
He's a writer.
Disney made 2 big acquisitions, not just Star Wars, but I know this might be news to some of you, but Marvel. They also bought Marvel. Why are we seeing a Star Wars park and not a Marvel park? Well, that
do
stumped
you want?
guys.
Do you want the logistical answer?
I mean,
for
I
that?
can go with
Sure, give me the logistical
Sorry,
answer.
Sure.
this is like again, feelings
Let's
are great
just
and
start
everything,
with the
but this is
boring
the legal
answer.
answer.
Okay.
give me the leagues.
Yeah. So the legal answer is that in the early '90s, Marvel
Oh
sold
my god! This is boring. I'm already
Okay.
bored. No, continue.
started with
Iron Man.
Continue.
Sorry,
Yeah.
no, Matt. I'll make it work.
Okay.
I'll make it work.
Just don't do dates.
So Iron Man was down on his luck in the early '90s. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So he was trying to find work, and he decided to work for Universal Studios, making attractions for them. Okay. And he signed a very, very restrictive contract that he would not make theme park rides for anyone else but Universal. So Tony Stark and Iron Man, the same person, are basically
Spoiler.
under contract to work for Universal, almost at the end of time for theme park rides.
Is that the real reason?
Well, then how come
Is
you
it
don't
just Iron
see
Man?
more? Universal
Well-
isn't jumping on making more Marvel rides.
I don't think they can make anything more. I think it's like everything
So
they've
it's just
made
basically
is
like
Sure. So
like
if-
any
if-
new characters. Like they can't use any
Yeah.
designs from the movie, so it's like they'd have to use the comic book designs.
Yeah.
So
And
like, but
nobody
that's not
recognizes
sellable or saleable.
Well,
to,
I know in Hong Kong Disney
They have an Iron Man
they
ride,
do have an
yeah.
Iron Man,
But
thing
I think
coming out.
it's in the U.S. I think that's
Got
where.
it,
So
got
it's
it.
like their 2 biggest parks. So they can't do it in Universal
build something
Studios, Hollywood,
Florida
or
and-
Orlando.
Oh, okay. That is
Yeah.
a bummer.
Okay, so for that,
way to
emotional
just
stuff
kill
aside.
that question, Kevin. Yeah, but what are you saying?
Okay, so there's a couple ways this could go.
Well, Disney has the money, I'm assuming,
yeah.
to buy some of that. I don't know if Universal would want to give it up,
Yeah.
but
they
yeah.
have it over their head.
Yeah.
I-
And it is a theme park
I think
competitor.
also
Yeah.
Star Wars as an entity is very much this is solely Star Wars. You can look at a Star Wars thing and pretty much attach it to it. But superheroes, there's just more, where it can spread out. Like, especially as a young kid, you don't understand the divisions between Marvel and whatever.
what about the
So you
divisions
can see something
between-
about Spider-Man and be like, Spider-Man's awesome, and then all of a sudden attached to Batman, and then your visions kind
But what
of...
about Star Wars attaching to sci-fi? Like Star
Yeah.
Wars and Tomorrowland kind of bleed.
Well, nobody knows what Tomorrowland is.
Tomorrowland's where Star
the land of
Tours and
tomorrow.
Space Mountain are.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand what you're saying. That,
I
that
think-
it is what? What do
So
you think?
if you're talking, I think it speaks to what you were saying earlier. This is the answer I want to give, Matt. This
Oh,
is, this
okay.
is the one in my heart.
Got it.
Is what you're talking about, where there's Harry Potter Land, which is a world you're being immersed
Yeah.
into, where superheroes, the great part about them is that they live in our world and our
Yeah.
extraordinary, whereas Star Wars, it's all about it's a lot of regular people
Sure.
in an extraordinary world.
That makes sense.
And I think that's what's the coolest part is you can be an ordinary person and walk around in this amazing world, and that's what something only Disney or Universal can give to you is
Yeah.
like, we're going to build this world for you and you can come live in it.
Where I guess we already have the equivalent of a superhero world, and it's Six Flags, and all they do is they build a roller coaster, slap Batman's name on it, and they're like, "You're done. It's done. It's the Batman land. It's a roller
Yep.
coaster."
They kill your parents
Batman
before you
land.
get on the ride, though.
Yeah, that's how they make it immersive. That's how
Yeah.
they build a world. Yeah. All right, that makes sense. All right, that's about all the time we have for podcasts. I know, by where are you pointing at?
Well, did you have one point?
Did you have a point,
Or are you
Amanda?
just groaning?
Well, both.
Amanda,
I
final
didn't want it
comment.
to end.
We have time.
but
We have time
I
for
didn't
one
want it
more
to end,
point. Amanda,
but I was
close
just
us
gonna
out.
say that I think that it just is too divided when you have so many superheroes that it couldn't be like a one cohesive. It wouldn't feel as cohesive because you're gonna have Iron Man
Sure.
world, like all the different
Because they
worlds
all
and-
have their own contained universes.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're
Within it.
building a superhero multiverse instead of just a Star Wars galaxy.
right.
Did I sum it up nicely?
You got it.
That's
All
exactly
right.
what I
You got
meant.
Okay.
I'm gonna
That's
give
about
it to you.
all the time we have then. Can I get a point for it?
Nope.
All right. I tried.
You
Yeah,
still
we're so
didn't
tied.
lose.
All right.
No, you're at -2.
For the final score, Kevin? What do we have?
So Amanda and Kevin tied at 0.
Okay.
I'm going to give it to
Winning.
Amanda for
right.
the win.
Winning.
Matt's at -1.
All right.
Brandon coming up the rear, -2.
Okay.
Wait,
well-
so I really got a negative point for
Yeah,
Wookiee
yeah.
breast milk?
I feel like
Yes.
there's no way to get positive points
We
in
don't
this
know if
game.
they're mammals.
It's only negative. All
First
right,
of all-
everybody, that's all the time we have. Third time I'm saying it for the JKA podcast, brought to you by jkagear.com. Today on the podcast, we had Macalupo. You can follow me on Twitter at @Macalupo.
And Amanda Ulrich, you can follow me at SoAmped33.
I'm Brandon Winfrey, and you can follow me at BWinfrey, and I deserve a point.
All right,
you remember
comment,
the name?
plugging
comment
yourself
if you
correct.
think Brandon deserves a point.
All right. And
Or
I'm Kevin
more
Burke.
negative.
You can follow me at Kevin with a Kevin.
All right, that's it. We're out. Woo!
3, 2, 1.
Hey, everybody, thanks for watching that episode of You Guys Just Left Me Hanging.
I thought,
Wanna
you,
count
I
us down
thought you
again?
were hand-
3, 2, 1.
Hey!
Hey!
Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks, guys. That means a lot. Thanks for watching I forgot what we were watching.
Wow.
God. Well, I got distracted now. One more time.
Great. This will cut together perfectly. All right.
I'm gonna fix my hair.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for watching that episode of the JKA podcast brought to you by jkagear.com. Go check it out for all your sweet Star Wars swag. Today on the podcast, we had Matt Galupo, and you can follow me at Matt Galupo on Twitter.
And Amanda Ulrich, you can follow me at SoAmp33 on Twitter.
B Winfrey, you can follow me at B Winfrey. My name's Brandon Winfrey.
I'm Kevin Burke. You can follow me at Kevin with a Kevin.
All right. Thanks, guys. This is a weekly podcast, so come check it out. Subscribe for more sweet podcasting stuff. And if we made any mistakes in this podcast in relation to Star Wars, I know we made a lot of other mistakes, but in relation to Star Wars, call us out on it, and we'll punish the person next podcast.
Look, I
You
got
better
homework.
believe
Like
it.
that.
Let's eat her head.
All right, that's
all
it.
the
We're
time we
out.
got.